Alex, I think it's a topic that you will get along with and have plenty to say about, as I would. Trent, try and keep up.
I'll try.
Anime. Oh, my microphone's falling on me.
Anime and cartoons.
Anime, and we'll throw in cartoons just so Trent's got something to say.
Thank God.
Because I think we've both tried, probably Alex more so because he lives with him, but we're trying to get Trent on the anime train, and he's just
Watched
as stubborn as his hairline and just does not want to get onto him. So
He's missing out, isn't he?
I
missing out.
watched that one where it was the house husband.
That doesn't count.
No, but also like quick shout out to that. What's that show called? It's on Netflix.
The Life of the Household Husband or something.
Yeah, and it's literally, without going into it too much, it's literally about like an ex
Yakuza. Yeah.
Yakuza, like absolute like king of kings over there.
So like John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick of
Imagine,
Yakuza.
imagine John Wick.
As a house
I know you
husband.
can't because the whole thing is his partner dies.
I have an imagination. I can put the two together.
Right,
yeah.
so imagine this, right? All right, so John Wick, right, finds a new lover, and that lover's like, "I'm going to make all the money. You're going to be a house husband."
Yeah.
And the whole show is literally him still being like a badass from the Yakuza, but doing like household chores.
Okay, so the feeling of that, of watching that show, do you guys go like, yeah, this is really, really good? Or do you like just understand like the comedy behind it?
That's a comical. It's a comical.
Yeah, that's all it is.
There's nothing genuine about that anime.
It's more
Okay.
it's an entertainment thing. Like, it's not like a storyline that I get behind. Like, that's the thing about anime. There's two.
Yeah, there's
there's
comedy.
not two types, I'd say, but the two main types are entertainment driven and storyline driven, and they are split down the like they are. So obvious which is which. Like, each has their own moments where they have a bit of a storyline or they have a bit of a comedic relief, but it's split down the line. So depending on your mood, so you can go Rick and Morty as
That's
not
cartoon.
an anime, but cartoon.
But if I was to join you down on the anime, I last time I like really invested in anime was probably, I don't know if it's considered an anime because I've also seen that Avatar.
The Last Airbender?
Yes.
The Last Airbender?
Yeah, is that considered?
Yeah.
I heard that wasn't considered an anme. It was considered the.
I mean,
There's a
where's
fine
that?
line.
What studio is that? I don't know what that.
It's an American. So what I actually know a little bit of anime in its like production is that to be considered an anime mostly has to come out of Japan, and then to be considered an actual anime from a US creation is actually quite a big thing, and I think. Avatar Airbender, that eventually did get like the honor of anime,
right?
And then I think there's a few others that are getting switched over, but it's a whole thing. Is that it's not considered an anime unless it comes from Japan.
Yeah. There's a category. There's like a definition. If someone said to you, "Do you watch anime?" and then the person says, "I watch Pokemon," technically, yes, it is an anime, but to be classified as like watching anime, like you'd have to watch multiple, and you can't just
fucking gatekeepers.
You can't just keep your narrow mind and say I'll watch Pokemon, and I'll watch Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. Like, yeah, they're absolutely incredible animes that are amazing. But
it's like saying I love sci-fi movies when I've only ever watched Star Wars.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really one lane. Like, you need to. If you watch anime, it's such a big, huge like
your Pokemon, your Yu-Gi-Oh,
they're mainstream.
It's your entry level.
Yeah,
that'd be right. Yeah, your entry level.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, it's entry level. You start there, but if you
Dragon Ball Z, of course, Dragon Ball GT,
they've gone so big. Yeah,
it's gotten huge. Yeah,
and then you graduate onto Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
Even Jason knows more than I do. I've never heard of that one in my
life. I'll jump back onto the anime train shortly, but I want to just talk about cartoons just to save Trent's life a little bit, and for me as well. One of my biggest things growing up with cartoons, and my biggest love of anything, is SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob.
That is, I tortured my family growing up because every single night they'd try and go to sleep, and I'd watch every single night without fault. I'd watch SpongeBob before bed. I'd have every single disc for the thing.
So that hasn't changed.
It was just soothing.
Yes,
I know it hasn't. I know. I still do it when I'm sad sometimes.
I remember COVID. It was you were watching it during COVID, and I remember walking 1 in the morning, walk past your room, and
And that is how I
remember when I'd have we'll have like a movies night at Alex's house or at my house or whatever. No matter what, at some point in time, I'm like laying there like just about to fall asleep, and I hear.
That's how I torture my family. I just
it got to a point where I was like, okay, this is my time to sleep, and then I'd drift off happily, peacefully, and Alex would still be there like wide-eyed, just enjoying life to the fullest.
Yeah. So when I was watching it back when I used to live at home, I'd have the DVD box set, and as soon as you finish your season, it goes back to the home screen, and the home screen is. So all night it would play while I'm sleeping like an absolute baby. Everyone in the house is hearing non-stop. So that was probably my biggest love for cartoons. That's where it started. Like, huge love for anime, but that was later in life.
Yeah,
I was an entry level my whole time, and then I grew. And that links to Japan as well, and love for that. But we'll talk about that later. So what about you, Trent? What's your favorite cartoon of all time?
Cartoon of all time? Oh, jeez.
It's a hard one.
That's a hard one. Of all time, I go through my phases. Like, I'm a big Simpsons guy. I love the Simpsons. But recently, like Rick and Morty, like one of those guys. Like, just love the whole metaverse storytelling to it. It's just blows my mind. And it was also like I like conspiracy theories stories.
Yeah.
And for sure, Rick and Morty just hits that.
Yeah.
That on the nail.
Rick and Morty's been a shining light recently for I think all of us. Like that was our back when we were going out sort of 2-3 nights a week. Every pre-drink we'd have at somebody's house. That's what we were watching. Before that, it was the Jackass movies. Yeah. He's a cartoon or anything, but it's funny. But then once Rick and Morty come out, I think once we got onto that bandwagon, that was what we had on in the background whenever we could.
So many hungover mornings, I just remember. It'd just be Rick and Morty in the background. What are we getting for food?
Yeah. And when they released a new episode as well, we'd all come together and we'd all watch it together and get food. Yeah. Mitch, favorite cartoon, not anime?
Cartoon. That is such a hard... Like, because it changes like every sort of 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, go through phases. I get that too. Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants. For life.
So for me, like, I say cartoon, then it'd probably... For longevity, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Wow.
I've never heard you mention Tom and Jerry.
It is a fight.
Never heard of
It's a fight to the death between Tom and Jerry and Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. Those two, for me, that used to just like Looney Tunes in general, but specifically, if I had the choice, it was always Tom and Jerry or Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. They were my favourite cartoons.
My dad was a big fan of Tom and Jerry, and even I watched it. We all watched it as a kid.
Tom and Jerry. Loved it.
I think we've all seen every episode just over our childhood. We just can't remember.
Any sort of cartoon that didn't have... It was all just visual. I don't know. As a kid and even growing up, because I can't read much, those are really what... Yeah, I love them.
I've just randomly popped up with this memory linking to the cartoons, a memory that we all share together. And I'm going to try and prompt it to you guys and see if you can figure it out. Okay. So, linking to... Oh, I don't want to give it away too much. But it's linking to my favourite cartoon of all time.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. It links to it. I'm going to say the number 11. Does that ring any bells without saying it? The number 11 and SpongeBob SquarePants. Does this ring any bells?
21?
No. Number 11.
The number 11.
A memory we all share together, the three of us. And another person.
11.
It was 4 of us. Number 11.
What?
Here we go. I'm going to add another word.
I swear to God.
Yeah, it is.
If this is like, if that's the seat number, if that is the seat number of the musical motherfucker,
well done.
That scarred you, didn't it?
My lucky number.
That's right.
That was
that's
emotional
why
damage
you were
to
so
you.
angry.
No, it's my lucky number. That's why. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my God. For context.
Yeah, context.
What an absolute journey and a privilege that we got to share this together. What was it? 2018. We went to America. Me, Alex, Trent, and Alex's beautiful sister. Good old Victoria. And we went on a journey. Absolute banger of a time. New York. We find ourselves in New York. Got to do a musical in New York. We're looking at all the fancy ones, lines out the door. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Ari heaps.
We looked around. We're like, all right, maybe with this, maybe that. And then we look on the screen like this. It's got it was like a big board that had all the musicals that are on, and we look. SpongeBob SquarePants the musical. Man.
It
you know
clicked
what?
with
My
everybody.
heart
We
would
lost
be-
that. We lost that once. Alex, man, I swear
Yeah.
he soiled 5 sets of
Yeah.
jocks when he seen that.
My heart was going. It was. I've never
what
been. And we
a-
got discounted seats.
Yeah.
And we got upgraded
Upgraded
seats.
seats.
That's
Yeah.
quite common
Yeah.
in America.
But then the whole point that Alex bringing up the number 11 is we figured out where our new 3 seats were, and I sat down in the number 11 seat, which if you know Alex, you know that A is his favourite number, and anything to do with the number 11, he's entitled to it.
Yeah. Well, not
And
even
anyway-
that. I had the
claims
ticket in
don't-
my hand. I had the ticket in my hand, and it said 11, and I was so happy. I had it in my hand,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it. I'm like walking towards 11, and this
I sat down,
inhumane
and I was
person stole my seat. And
comfortable,
and
copped an absolute ear bashing, which really set the tone
Yeah.
for the musical.
and even better is he was. That's the beauty of it. He was so stubborn. He
Oh.
wouldn't get out of his chair. So I was
just-
content.
You know
I
when you're
wanted-
in a mood to
Yeah.
fuck with
and,
somebody?
and he
And-
was in that mood. And it.
He was looking at me too. I was just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not
Trent
in
didn't want
this.
any part of it. I was like, all right, I'm solo worrying this against Alex.
But the reason why this story is so beautiful is I was so adamant that I wanted that seat and I deserve that seat. And then right at the end of the musical,
Patrick Starr. The whole cast comes through the whole crowd, and Patrick Starr comes and high fives this motherfucker who was in my seat while I was in his, and this motherfucker tears in his eyes like.
I've only seen Mitchell cry on a handful of occasions, and it's never been an emotional one, as in a sad thing. It's always happy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was
Dude.
sitting. We were all sitting there in a world where it was the end of it, and bubbles were falling
Euphoric,
down,
the
and it
bubbles.
was euphoric. There were tears in our eyes.
Mate, even just thinking about it, I could probably cry now. But
And
that was
then-
hands down the best 2.5 hours of my fucking life.
And
I've
then
seen a few
The-
musicals.
Just,
And I explained to like friends and family, like, you know, that we went to see the SpongeBob, and everyone questioned me why we went
Why?
and saw that.
why
you
would
don't-
you fucking not?
You don't get it. You don't understand, and you never probably
Yeah,
will.
That's why you're not a best friend with us. You're a friend. If you don't love SpongeBob like we love SpongeBob, we'll be friends. We'll go have dinners.
Yeah.
We'll have a mutual agreement. That would be great.
Yeah.
You know,
You won't have a fancy handshake with us.
Yeah.
No, that's us.
The bloody moral of the story is, I'm glad I didn't get that seat because I got the high five
And
Patrick
I'm
Starr.
glad I got the reference. And I can't believe that's the
I'm
reference.
glad I knew one of you would pick up on that reference as soon as I said it. But I guess that's a really good example of like a cartoon that I loved and we all like liked or loved, and we all went and did something together and had a memory linking to a cartoon. I think Trent, this is the sad part of the podcast. I think we're gonna jump ship and go to the anime. Are you ready, Mitchell Coy? You can lead. You love an anime chat.
I'll lead. Honestly, it sort of just kicked off exponentially maybe 4 years ago. You know, I'd rewatched all the Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to give some of these other shows a go. Put on Naruto. My God, what a fucking journey that was. Amazing. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I'm going to go through all the big ones. Started One Piece. Again, every episode. I'm up to date still.
Can you give some context to how many hours that takes to finish a whole season of those things you're talking about?
Okay, so
how many
One
episodes?
Piece, in the middle of, I think maybe middle of last year, One Piece cracked the 1,000 episode mark.
that's insane. I remember it was season 1 of that. I watched season 1 of One Piece. I didn't remember that.
1,000
15 years ago?
episodes, 22 to 24 minutes an episode. I've watched every single damn one of them. Every single one. Naruto, I think that's like 750 episodes. That's Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. And then Boruto, which is a story about Naruto's son. And that's at like 120 episodes. Go on, what's the hours?
Yeah, sorry, I had to do a quick
Go on,
Google.
Alex, do
I was
some
gonna,
chat.
I was gonna do
The teacher's coming in with some mathematical wisdom here.
I was gonna do the Trent Forsyth and be like, "Hey Google," and then get it to explain it. But what I'm gonna do is I just did a little cheeky Google on my phone. The episodes. So this is for how many hours it takes to complete One Piece. So this is just One Piece. The episodes all ranging from 22 to 24 minutes long. Multiplying that by 927, it'd be over 1,000 now. 396 hours or 16 days straight of watching.
And there's also 5 movies.
And
a
there's
sixth
5
coming
movies.
out.
That's for one series that he's watched.
that's
So
one
multiply that by
show.
how many
Did you sleep through any of that, or did you go back and rewatch?
See, there was episodes, but I'd always go back and rewatch because I'd know when I fell asleep. Because I was always hooked on every episode. The only different one was Naruto because there's a lot of filler episodes which are like side stories to the main story. There's a lot of it in Naruto. I highly recommend people that haven't watched it to watch them. I kind of just sort of got the brief understanding of what they were and just sort of kept going on to the main story. But no, majority of the time I would have watched every episode in full. Yeah, right. I would have fallen asleep throughout, but I would remember where I was at and go back.
Mitchell, big burning question. This is probably the hardest thing you'll ever answer in your life.
I can't answer it.
Nah, you have to.
What's your favourite anime?
Top three.
Top three? Okay,
top three animes.
Top three.
Yeah.
I can do top three.
I'll give it top one because I'm happy. No particular order.
Top three.
No particular order. No ranking.
Naruto. For nostalgia, the whole Dragon Ball series. I can't do top three.
Okay,
it's either Hunter x Hunter. I thoroughly enjoyed. Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a new one, which I absolutely adored. I couldn't do a top three.
That's trying to work out if you're just saying random words.
No, he's saying real anime. Fair enough.
I couldn't put it into a top three because they range story-wise so broadly that they hit different spots. So you got nostalgia, you've got just like high impact action, you've got full blown length storyline. Yeah. Not like Dragon Ball where it's like this, Goku sits there for 17 episodes to do one move.
Fillers.
It's full blown like from episode 1, it's not until episode 560 that what he did in episode 1 makes sense. That kind of shit. Like that's Naruto. Like it's the longevity of the storytelling is fucking incredible. And I could watch it start to finish, back to back to back to back to back, and still just be in awe of just how well, not scripted, because obviously it's all been drawn up, but just how well they've done that storyline.
I found an anime similar to you later in life. Like I watched a lot of it growing up, like the entry level stuff. But then when I think my love for Japan was the reason why I got back into it. I just love Japan in general. And probably one of my favorite animes of all time is still currently running. And I'm not going to talk about any spoilers or anything about it, but by far, I can't believe you didn't say. You made me sick. You made me sick. My favorite anime of all time, and it might change in the next couple, I guess in the next week because it's all coming to an end. Attack on Titan is by far one of the most incredible longevity. Like it's not the most longest anime, but it's just got the amount of depth into it and the amount of thought process and the amount of turns and the amount of twists. It's just an absolute art form, and I was
talking about longevity in storytelling, that's another great example.
Yeah,
it's, episode 1, 2, and 3 have so much relevance in the last episodes.
Yeah, you see a lot of.
That's all I can say about it. But there's just aspects from the first episode that keep getting referenced and brought back and fill gaps later on. It's definitely it's unreal. The amount of time and effort
they put in, it's incredible. So there's a couple of animes that I really, really love. But Attack on Titan, dead set, is going to be my favourite. A reason why I love anime as well that links to all of us, or cartoons in general, with like the Rick and Morty or Attack on Titan for us. But it's something that brings us together, whether we do it in our own time or we do it before we go out, or just something to keep us together and make the bond stronger. And I think that's probably one of the most important things is, things we talk about on this show anyways. These experiences we've shared or these experiences we continue to share, they're just things that make Alex, Mitch and Trent who we are.
You'd be surprised. I do have a favourite anime. And it's not Pokemon and it's not Dragon Ball Z. Ooh. I think it's maybe the third. I don't know if I say this, you guys might laugh or whatever. It's an entry level Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
I'm a big,
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Big Yu-Gi-Oh!
I love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! How good was Yu-Gi-Oh! In primary school back in the day?
The original, like maybe 3 or 4 seasons of the original Yu-Gi and all that that was like the best.
It was fucking
I would love like the 3 Egyptian god cards, just like PSA level.
Trent, can you name the 3?
Obelisk the Tormentor, Cypher the Sky Dragon, and Winged Dragon of
Of all the ones you left last, that is so funny. Oh my god!
You're gonna leave that one to last.
I'll say this again. Even Yu-Gi-Oh gave me my first sexual awakening as a child. I was like 7 years old.
The Winged Dragon.
No, season 1. I think I believe her name was May from the she was from the season 1, or she might have been in there season 2 as well. But oh my god, as a 7-year-old, I looked at her. Had the biggest crush in my life ever.
I want to add. Can I quickly? I want to. This is a quick discussion. Anime characters that you had a crush on. Go quick, Alex.
Oh Jesus!
Go on, just one. Your main
Joy.
Nurse Joy.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was it.
Not bad. Jeez.
Me, and it's solidified by the fact that I have her tattooed on my butt cheek. Bulma from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I already said mine.
Nurse Joy.
Nurse Joy.
Nurse Joy.
And what's yours? Oh, well,
May Valentine. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Favorite main character from any anime. Just the main character. The story, the look, the eyes. I've always been a big thing on eyes. The storytelling that they can do with just how they portray the eyes in animes, that's one thing that I've always been so attracted to in animes.
Yeah, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh guy, so either Yu-Gi-Oh or Joey from that series.
Mine's either Eren Yeager or SpongeBob SquarePants. Those beautiful blue eyes and his little...
Nice. Mine would either be Sasuke from Naruto or Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, but specifically Teen Gohan when he fights Cell and he just has that whole moment. That whole arc, the Cell arc.
Episode 900. I love that version. He was the best. Yeah,
he was. Like, if you know, you fucking know. Teen Gohan was fucking sick.
I just remembered something.
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory because I love Yu-Gi-Oh that much, and I loved a certain series. I don't remember what series it was called. Right now, name your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'm happy to start if you guys want to have a think. If anyone remembers this part from the series, this is how much of a nerd I was. There was this like evil group. I don't know what they were called, but they'd have like symbols on their forehead, very satanic-like. And there was a card called the Seal of Orichalcos. And basically what it did was you put it down at the start of the match, and they were like real evil. They're like an evil corporation. And they put it down at the start of the match, and all their Yu-Gi-Oh, all their Yu-Gi monsters or whatever they were, would get this symbol on their head, and it'd give them like an extra 500 attack and 300 defense for nothing. Just made them like super evil.
Yeah.
And like I think there was a point where one of the main characters, like Yugi or Joey or one of those people, had joined it, and then they became evil, and then they had the symbol, and I was like obsessed. I'm like, I wanted that card. That was dead set my favorite card.
I think it was Red Eyes Black Dragon.
That was
Red
Joey's,
Eyes Black Dragon. Yeah, Joey's. Yeah.
See, I'm like super standard. I cannot go past the way they had that card in the show and how the card looked. Blue Eyes White Dragon.
You can't,
No.
It just
what about
the way it was portrayed in the show. The card just always looked beautiful. When I got one of them when I had one of them in my deck, I felt like I was the principal of the primary school that I was at. So I just walked around with that card, and everyone was like, "Oh, we means business." Right, we can talk about anime all bloody day for 15 episodes in a row, but we're going to cut it now to Jason, the producer master, with his topic of the day.
Why, thank you, Mitch. That was such a delicious throw to me. Thank you. Okay, boys. The topic for today, or the producer's pick, I should say. Okay, a lot of millennials are going alcohol-free, and zero alcohol bars are popping up all over the place. Even Dan Murphy's is wanting to get into that market. Would you or could you go alcohol-free?
For a period of time? Or...
Yeah.
Oh, either or.
I could do a period of time, like 24 hours or whatever.
10 to 15 minutes.
So
I am not afraid of a detox from alcohol. Take a bit of a break, give your liver a bit of a break. However, alcohol, I feel like, is just a bit of a staple in my life, and that may sound bad. I don't think that sounds. That's pretty normal. I think everyone, not everyone,
especially after COVID, motherfucker.
I don't see anything wrong with drinking with moderation.
Whether that find the moderation part, Trent.
Yeah. Well, look, you know, I do say I don't drink throughout the week, but God, do I make up for it the weekend? Yeah, finding that balance. I don't think I'd give it up. Have you tried zero alcohol? Like the zero?
It's not.
It's not. We had one the other week.
Yeah, for George's birthday after wrestling training.
Yeah, and
he pulls out an esky, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's got it."
Yeah.
Opens up the esky, 0% alcohol beers. Me and Trent had to suck it up and drink that beer.
I think that was probably the worst beer I've ever had in my life.
It's not if it wasn't
beer. Have you had a BB?
Oh, yeah. You want to start a fight on the podcast, do you? Don't jump over there.
Sorry.
But honestly, it was just like water off tea and a little hint of urine.
That's pretty much it.
That is what the 0% alcohol beers taste of, or the ones that I had, whatever ones they were. I'm not going to name. I don't want to name who that brand was. God forbid, in case it ends up becoming a sponsor. But great beer, delicious.
You know, when you have a gluten-free like a bread or something without gluten in it, or like without flour, and it just tastes off.
That's what 100%.
Was.
It was so watery.
I'm sure they'll work it out. Yeah, it might taste closer, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not a fan.
My personal opinion on it is, well, me, more me and Mitch, but we had our times as well with it. But we went 3 years of going out clubbing without drinking a drop. Like, we would just go out sober and not have to drink to have a good time. Then we discovered alcohol, and that changed. We'd go out and drink, and we have been ever since, and it's been amazing still. But I can still go out on a night and not drink and have a sick time. But do I agree with doing alcohol-free drinks? No. I'd rather just go and have a Coke or a Pepsi Max or a Red Bull to keep me going. What a waste of guts that would be, and like carbs and sugar and all whatever the crap that they put in it, to not get the buzz. Like, if you're going to drink something for the function of getting drunk and not get that thing, then I think it's just a waste. If you enjoy the taste of a beer and you don't want to get drunk, then cool, you drink it. But I would rather just drink a soft drink and go out and stay sober. That's how I would rather do it.
I think the market for the 0% alcohol are more for people that have put themselves either by excessive drinking or not put themselves, but a physical illness has fallen upon them where they can't drink alcohol anymore, and it's giving them that opportunity to...
He said younger crowd, like opening up...
Oh, you're talking about younger crowds?
Yeah, he's not talking about people in their 40s. No, he's talking about like opening bars and stuff for those type of people, yeah.
Yeah, millennials.
Yeah, millennials, yeah. So
millennials.
The new people. The young ones.
I wouldn't do it. Should I have detoxes? Fuck them.
I agree.
And truly.
I'm 100%.
Am I going to eventually? Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
But also, if I don't want to drink, I don't want to drink. I'm not always reaching for a drink. Like, that's one thing I have noticed.
Yeah.
You know, I do enjoy it on a Friday after a long week. But I think bars should stock it. But I don't think you need a 0 bar.
I'm just trying to figure out if it isn't for a physical reason that you can't drink alcohol, but that's an option for you.
We've met plenty of people in our time who are just not drinkers, who just don't. And that's fine.
Why come out with a whole range of alcohols for them then that have no alcohol in them if they don't want to drink?
Religious. Some people don't. Some religions don't drink alcohol.
Yes, but they've learned to drink beer. Well,
for those religious
drunk
people,
soft drinks and all that. Anyway,
but they can't drink when they go out because of religious reasons.
Correct.
So now they can go out and they can drink
prior to. What's bringing out in a 0% alcohol going to do?
Is it a taste?
No, because then they can still drink a beer, but there's no alcohol in it.
I'd rather if I'm having a Parma, if I'm sitting there with a fat fucking Parma.
I have a Parma, but I don't want the Napoli sauce, the cheese, the ham, and I want one singular piece of broccoli on the side. I'm going to still call it a Parma.
Nah, you're taking the chicken away.
That's what this is.
No, the toppings will stay. It's the chicken you're losing. You're losing the chicken.
Yeah.
We've lost track of my metaphor here. I was not going that direction. But I'm like, you have a Parma, you have a beer. I'd be perfectly happy having a Parma and a Coke.
Of course.
That's perfectly fine. I don't see the need. I wouldn't be like, I need a beer so bad. I don't know. Also, I enjoy the taste of beer. It is something that has grown on me over years. Grown on me. It's not something that I'm like, I need the taste of a beer in my mouth right now.
No, but when you get that taste.
The sesh is on.
God forbid. See, it makes you sound like a fiend for it. Like, I don't go chasing it, but when it lands in your lap, my.
You know what, though? I would love to experience what it's like to be at that place with everyone sober. Imagine going to a club where every they wouldn't be sober still.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be
sober.
They would be drinking.
The stories I hear is that you truly get to experience the real story of what's actually happening that night. I mean, when you hear a drunk story, and it's like it's so curved and it doesn't sound scattered and it doesn't seem. But then if you're sober at a club and you see like this same person who's telling that story, like that didn't happen. This is what you really look like. you
didn't suplex him.
Bringing up old words.
Not at a club, that's okay.
But yeah, look, there's probably many reasons why to drink zero alcohol and why zero bars might be a thing for people. That's fair enough. I think
them out of normal bars. That's fine by me.
Have the selection of both. That's fine. Let's have more variety in a bar is the better. I get.
I suppose. I mean, it's all about at the end of the day, as a bar. If you want to talk from a bar's perspective. Variety. The more that you have on the shelf, the more people will come to the bar.
You charge $8 still for a zero alcohol beer.
Fuck, if someone pays $8,
I'd rather glass of
There is someone who is doing that. There is, and there's a market for it, and they're putting it there. Why not?
I need to have a look. You know what? That's what I'm going to do tomorrow when I go to the servo for me smoko. I want to have a look at what they're charging. Because 7-Eleven have them.
Yeah,
They've got a whole range of wines, beers, ciders, all zero.
Yeah.
What a joke!
What a joke!
And I'm going to go have a look. I'll go have a look at what the price is.
Well, you mentioned one of the reasons. So people that are trying to get off alcohol, there's one. Religious aspects. People literally can't drink alcohol. It's part of their religion. You could say, that's it. There's no other valid reason. I can't think of anything else.
Thank you all for listening to another episode of the Alex, Mitch and Trent Show. Tune in next week.
Or don't.
We'll be back regardless.